All right, and welcome back to That's Some Cheese, part of the Vendetta Sports Podcast Network. Today is Monday, September 6th, 2021. It's actually Labor Day. I actually forgot to even show up to one of the interviews. I was supposed to interview an intern today. I fucked up. Holiday. Messed up. Honestly, thought it was Sunday. I'm all over the place.
Trey Dauber dropping the rare ball drop by but when you're the head of the company, you're allowed to drop the ball. No one else is allowed.
I forgot I was supposed to record this show.
Yeah, I forgot too. So
yeah, I'm on my way back home from Ohio, and I get the message from Don't Call the Plumber saying, "Hey, you available to do That's Some Cheese?" I'm like, sure.
I didn't know I was supposed to do it today. I honestly thought it was Sunday. So,
you know what? Today does feel like a Sunday.
Oh my God.
It feels like Sunday.
It does.
Yeah.
You should have saw me because every time I go to a little area just outside of Dayton, Ohio, every few months to see my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law. And before I leave, I always go to this barbecue place called Flyby. And I was already, my mouth was watering for some Flyby barbecue. And it's like, why aren't they opening the door? I'm yanking on the door, getting mad. And I see the sign for Monday. It says close. I'm like, well, you sons of bitches. How dare you close?
Yeah, holiday. Totally forgot.
I hate holidays because holidays just throw me off my freaking game.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of holidays.
So we're going to wing it here. I do have some topics that I have. We'll see where it goes. I did shave the beard. So.
Oh, yeah, I see that. You finally got tired of looking like a cave person.
The top mustache lip was down to my bottom lip, so it had to go. It was getting to my food.
Did Josh Taylor tell you that it didn't look good on you, so you decided to shave it? The man crush Josh
we're
Taylor
best friends, man.
Yeah, your new best friend and man crush told you that it didn't look good on you, so you said like, I got to get rid of.
Well, he technically said he liked the beard because he can't grow a beard. So
yeah, he did
in
say
favor
that.
of it.
Yeah, he did. Man, so he's gonna be hard. He's gonna be upset that you shaved the beard. I guess you can't come on the.
It grows in 2 days.
All right.
It grows in 2 days.
Oh, so you have the Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
As soon as you shave, it grows right back.
This is 1 day.
Gotcha. See, I'm trimming.
That's 1 day.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm just trimming and shaping mine. I'm just trimming and
looks good.
Of course, I'm getting laughed at because of the gray, and it's like, man, I don't care about none of that.
Courtney complimented Fontanello, and they were like, "Oh, you put Courtney up to it." Like, did not.
No.
You can't get Courtney to agree about anything freaking Jay Crowder related. You can't make her give Fontanello a compliment.
Exactly. His face was looking a little slimmer. He was looking good. He's on the Trey Albert workout.
He needs to get on the Bryan Tann DDP yoga workout.
No, for real. That's a life-changing workout right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, man. I actually did a side by side of me in the same hotel 5 months ago to today. And I'm like, whoa, look at that. And I'm wearing my Billy Jack style jeans too, getting ready to kick some rednecks in the face. I love it.
I should do that from when I wrestled 103 in 10th grade right now.
Nice.
You should do it.
Get that side by side going. So when are you coming to Pittsburgh so you can work out with me?
Whenever I have the invite. I need the invite first.
You can come down. You can come and crash. Crash and work out. I gotta take off my shoes. I've been driving since like 1 o'clock this afternoon.
So I get to meet like Josh Taylor before the actual wedding. Like we actually get.
If you want, yeah. I mean, I'm sure we could probably make that work.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can make that work with the Josh Taylor.
I love that guy.
Dude, Josh Taylor is awesome. Me and Josh Taylor have been buddies since high school. We sat right next to each other in English. And
I can't wait to steal him for your wedding so I can chat with him just about football for an hour.
You're just going to snatch him away from the whole thing. Wow, that means that I probably won't be able to make him a groomsman because Trey ain't going to let him to be involved in no wedding party stuff.
No, you can do that. His wife.
Yeah, he's going to be sitting there talking to Josh Taylor's wife, and she's going to be like, get him away from me. He keeps talking to me about football, and I don't care. Yeah, because I'm foreseeing, because I already had someone drop out as a groomsman because one of my adopted brothers dropped out, but he actually had a really good reason because he's going overseas, and I'm actually kind of nervous with everything that's going on in Afghanistan because he's dealing with he's working security at the U.S. Is he working at the embassy? I can't remember which one. I know he's over in the Middle East doing some security work. So, so he had a reason. But then I think two of my other guys might end up dropping out at some point. So I know Josh Taylor is probably going to get a slot. And I'm trying to decide who else. I'm actually going to do my own version of Vendetta Survivor. Only it's going to be to see who gets to be a groomsman.
I like that.
I think I might do something like that.
And you won't be able to make fun of me anymore because Dance Minor Trey is real.
Nice. See, that's the only reason why you got the invite. Not just because of the Josh Taylor influence, but the fact that I want to see Dance Minor Trey on the dance floor.
I need a couple
drinks.
Are
you having alcohol? Yeah, I was going to say.
There's an open bar. There's an open bar.
Oh,
the Comfort Inn is hooking a brother up, man. Comfort Inn is hooking a brother up. For real.
I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of Josh Taylor, though, there's actually a new rule within the company because of his appearance on the show. So I want you to talk about that.
All right. So here's the thing. As I guess it's no longer unofficial head of HR. Is it official? I'm the head of HR.
Yeah.
All right. So I can't make that joke that I'm the low man on the totem pole on my own show.
And Kane is technically sales, so he's like, I guess, assistant HR.
Yeah. So since Creed's Corner is in charge of the interns, I'm in charge of HR, and I'm getting really, really frustrated with the issues that Trey and the company have been having with interns because this intern class has been having its difficulties. So I made the decision because Trey, you asked Josh Taylor so many great questions, and I know why you did it. And like, seriously, having Josh Taylor come on and talk from the position of a college guy trying to get into media, not just sports media, but media, period.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's some invaluable advice. So I made the executive decision that all of the interns, and it is not just one of the interns said, thanks for the challenge. I almost said, bullshit, it ain't a challenge. This is a mandate. A challenge is something that I dare you to do it and you make the choice to do it or not. This is a mandate where if you don't do it, you're fired. But I understood where he was coming from, so I wasn't going to be a complete ass. But it is now.
I don't know what the brain on that kid is. He's something.
But the mandate is all interns must watch last week's That's Some Cheese episode with Josh Taylor. And then there is a 10-question quiz. And it must be done. At this point, it has to be done by Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It doesn't matter where you live. It must be done by
here where I live in Iowa.
Well, I don't give a shit. You know what? Tell the state of Iowa to grow me some more corn for my popcorn and my tortilla chips and shut the F up. All right? I don't care what your time zone is. It needs to be done by my time zone time. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time before the kickoff of Thursday Night Football. We've only gotten 3.
Do you have the names of the 3?
I will give you the names of the 3. Give me a nanosecond.
While Brian's doing that, Courtney, you were an intern once upon a time. Do you feel like this quiz is unreasonable, reasonable, too much to ask, and not enough to ask?
I think it's reasonable, but it's also like good for them too, just because of like his advice and everything. It's not like to like punish them or nothing. It's to help them and also like kind of like make sure they're like on top of their things too.
At the end of the day, these kids are supposed to get experience in the sports media field.
And that's what being an intern is supposed to be. It's a work study thing.
And they're getting 90 minutes on their timesheet to do it.
I'm surprised that all the interns aren't done already.
No, they've had what, a week, 2 weeks to do it?
So far, they've had it was supposed to have been like a little over a week because I'm up late Wednesday, early Thursday. So far, we've had 3. Jamie Lee, Jennifer Vu. I hope I'm saying her last name right. If I'm not, I do apologize because I know I hate it when people butcher my name. And Ryan Schwager.
Oh, I got quite the story on this kid.
Okay. So now here's the thing. This is the requirement. You must get a minimum of a 70%, which means you have to get 7 out of 10 correct. And
that's how it works in college. You can't transfer your credits unless you get a C on something.
Right.
So I like
then it has to be done in a Word document. Now I did specify in another channel. I didn't specify it in the actual intern channel, so that's on me. One person just copied and pasted it and put it in, and I accepted it because I didn't specify in the channel. So that was on me. But I also want it in a Word document so I can save it. So that way, when it's saved in a Word document, when Trey sends whatever to their school or whatever, there's a copy of it in there. I've gotten 3. Each person has scored 90. Each of the 3 have scored 90% or better.
Not bad.
However, now there's 9 interns left?
Good question.
I haven't even gotten half back, if that's the case. So any interns, well, number one, all y'all interns should be watching this, or at least listening in the background. I'm disappointed. And
8.
today, there's 8 left. So I haven't even gotten half.
We've already fired 5.
Yeah. And I've had 3. So that means 5 more of y'all need to get this done. And I hope and Trey, I think they think I'm joking when I say,
no,
if you don't do this, you're fired. I'm going to say it again. If you don't do this, any of you interns that have not turned it in yet, I don't care how toxic you think it is, because, hey, listen, I'm going to tell you something straight up.
That's a great topic we can jump into too.
I'm going to tell you straight up. There are some internships, I've had a few, that are difficult as hell. The internship here at Vendetta, all you're being asked to do is your job. I don't know if y'all think that because this is, we're a sports media company and, we're still in the process of building, that you're just going to play around, or if you're even serious about it. Because if you're not serious about it, why are you even here? Why are you in my company if you ain't even going to be serious about it? Bottom line is that if you're supposed to be getting college credit and hours that you have to do, why are y'all playing games? Why?
College credit, so they get classes for this. Yes. And
you have to graduate with this credit. Remember that.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, there is no extension. None. If you want an extension on this, your mama better be dead, and I want to see an obituary and a death certificate. Because I've known people that will sit there and say, well, such and such died, so blah, blah, blah. Oh, really? And I've actually heard people try to use it before. And honestly, if you use your mama, your daddy, or a close relative dying, they better actually be dead. If not, you are a low piece of crap. Your dog dying is not an acceptable excuse. I have 3 cats. I love my cats, but if they die, I still have to work. So henceforth, you still have to work. Okay.
Courtney loves her dog.
Courtney hates her dog.
I have a love-hate relationship with my dog.
I swear to God.
And I was just talking about this earlier too.
Courtney's excited for a nuclear apocalypse so she can cook her dog for sustenance. That's how much Courtney hates her dog.
She's very, very attached. And I'm like, dang, I need a dog that can just be on her own. Like, just do her own thing sometimes.
Didn't you get mad because your dog had her monthly visitor on your bed?
Yeah, well, okay. No, okay, that's messed up.
That's how I understood it.
My boyfriend picked her up and she just let it go on him. On his shirt.
Well, that sounds like his fault, not her fault. I mean, if she's riding the Crimson Wave, why is he picking her up?
That is true. Maybe I should just get her, and have no babies no more. But it's dang, I'll feel bad.
I think maybe you need to admonish your boyfriend. Why you gotta pick up my dog while she's having monthly time?
I don't know. I should have.
For real.
Dang, Brian, you made me feel bad now.
See now your boyfriend thinks he can get away with anything. What's next? He gonna leave the toilet seat up?
True.
Yep. See, this is why you gotta listen to the old man. I got experience in these areas.
The old man Tan.
Old man Tan. That's right.
Yeah.
Just like old Logan, only not Canadian.
Can we talk about one thing that you actually brought up? You used the word toxic. And we had an intern specifically not say it to me, but kind of
mention that they left the intern channel and tried to say that it was toxic.
Correct. Would you consider Trey, and I even brought this up to the group, would you consider Trey and maybe the way this company is run to be toxic? Because me, I will just be honest, I can be toxic 100%, but I get pushed to that point. I'm not toxic unless you push me to that point. Then I can become very toxic.
I look at the company.
And Courtney says I'm misunderstood. So I'm going with that.
We have moments. We do have moments, but here's the thing. It's been said from the jump that this company is going to be different than what other companies are. We're not doing this whole thing where we have a curtain keeping the outside from looking at what we do. If controversy in its own way sells, then the silliness that goes on in this company is going to be out there for other people to experience so they can see that we're a real company and we're not hiding it. So do I think that's toxic? I think it sometimes can tap dance in the realm because we get sophomoric and we like to play games with each other. And if somebody gets pissed off over something, sometimes it's fun to sort of poke the bear, i.e. Dakota. But is it outright evil toxicity? No. It's mostly we're sophomoric and it starts to go a little bit too far, but we're able to rein it in.
I like that answer.
Is the way that I would take it from my HR perspective.
Anything else to add, Courtney?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we do have our moments and sometimes it can kind of like drag on sometimes. But usually when it's like that, it's just about because something didn't get done or something wasn't done. So it wasn't never just like in a personal attack at somebody. It was either like
you didn't do what you were supposed to do and you're getting called out.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so you can consider something toxic if you don't do what you're supposed to do and you get called out. Now, are there some instances where we should call out bad job performance privately? Maybe.
Right, maybe.
But at the same token, if you know that bad job performance and bad communication is going to be called out, number one, if you're going to be in a company where it's sports media, which involves communications, you should be communicating anyway. And as an adult, when you have a job, you are supposed to communicate with your chain of command. So if your lack of communication gets called out, it ain't so much toxic. It's you put yourself in the position to be called out. You can't call it toxic when you're facing consequences. You just can't.
Fair enough. I do have to bring up this kid specifically. William Wang needs to be brought up here because, well, first of all, he made a video of Bryan Tann in the background. I was in it too. First, I need your thoughts on that because it's I don't know why Joel decided to do this, but it's the pinned tweet on the company's Twitter account. Not sure why it needed to be pinned there, but do you have a response to that video?
Not really, because it don't make it's. How honest do you want me to be, Trey?
100%, all the way.
It don't make no fucking sense to me. For one, maybe I'm having an okay boomer moment, or okay Gen Xer. Maybe I'm just being the old man shouting at the clouds.
I'm with the kids. I didn't understand it.
What show was it?
Yeah,
if you're with the kids.
I don't even know what the hell show it is. It's on Cartoon Network, right?
Yeah, it's a regular show.
Oh, it's not Adult Swim. That's probably why, and it's the one with that bluebird, right?
Yeah.
See, my kid watches
And the
that show.
raccoon, yeah.
Yeah, my kid watches that show. I don't. So it's dumb to me. It doesn't make sense, but okay. And here's the thing. If you got enough time to make a silly ass video meme, then you got time to do the damn assignment, intern.
That's where I want to bring this up, because I can almost guarantee he's not going to do it.
Well, then he's fired. Then quit. Then quit now. Instead of making stupid ass memes to put up for some reason that are getting pinned to the damn Twitter feed, if you're not going to do the assignment that has been put before you, quit.
Like, there's a big difference, right? Sophie makes crazy little videos all the time, but she's also excellent.
Yeah.
She's also excellent and one of the most irreplaceable employees we have.
And Sophie ain't an intern. Sophie also does her job and has done her job. So when she's doing the videos poking fun and blah, 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 that's after she's already gotten her job done. Now, granted, and I talked to Creek's Corner about this yesterday for a little bit while I'm at my nephew's birthday party. And I asked him, you know, what's going on in this particular situation. And he says, well, there's a bit of a reprieve there because the show that he was working on, the entire host and guest host got fired. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me know. Fine. But if you're already in hot water to begin with, instead of sitting there making video memes and blah, 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 thinking you're ha funny and blah, 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 how's about you ha do your damn job? Because newsflash, pumpkin, you're not funny. You're not funny to me. Nor have you earned any sort of spot to be able to break off and try to be ha funny and poke fun at a situation. You ain't earned that right. If Courtney want to put up something making fun of a situation, guess what? Courtney's earned that right. Jackson Law wants to do it. Jackson Law has earned that right. Creed's Corner, Chickster, Kane, the list goes on. You haven't.
Yeah.
All right? And if you think that's toxic, that's your problem. And I'll tell you flat out one-on-one. Matter of fact, I will invite you to come on. Matter of fact, I will invite you to come on to the Tandemonial Sports Show. And I will tell you straight up. Mono E intern. Oh. I will tell you flat out. You have not earned that spot yet to do that. You're an intern. You're here for credit. Guess what? Do the assignment that's put forth ahead of you. Start earning that credit within the company. And then you can goof off and act a clown. I'll probably goof off with you.
Well, I do want to.
I'm fired up now. I'm fired up.
This is fun.
Trey just likes it when I get fired up.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I'm low key, just like I'm low key, a lot like Trey when I get fired up.
I do want to ask you this, because William Wang, he's pulled a move that I didn't know would ever happen. So he has removed himself from multiple channels. Like, hey, I'm just not a part of this channel anymore. He has removed himself from the intern channel. He removes himself from the video channel. He removed himself from random. He removed himself from social media. The only channel he was in was general. And then Creek's Corner had to add him back into the video chat so that he could actually do his job and claim video projects. And then had to add him back into the intern chat because, you know, anytime there's an important intern announcement, he needs to be there for it.
Well, number one, why is an intern removing himself from any channel that he's
I couldn't tell you that.
Now, here's the thing. And maybe as HR, I need to approach him and tell him this. Number one, if you have been put in that intern channel by either the owner of the company or the person that is your immediate supervisor, that is Creek's Corner, you do not have the authority to remove
It's almost fireable,
from.
but I didn't fire him.
I'll fire him. I'll fire him right now.
Well, we're going to see if he does the assignment. I don't think he will, but we'll see if he does the assignment.
Well, yeah. Well, he's got until Thursday. And I'm going to tell him flat out he's fired. Because here's the bottom line, dude. No, you don't remove yourself from any channels in this company. Unless you are an employee and it has nothing to do with you, you don't remove yourself from a channel. If you are an intern that's supposed to be doing video, number one, if you're an intern, you don't remove yourself from the intern channel because that's what you're here for in the first place. That's where you get the important announcements. If you're supposed to be doing video editing as part of your job, you damn sure don't remove yourself from the video channel. Mm-hmm. And as far as general, you damn sure don't take. Now, if you take yourself out of random, all right, I get it, because that's kind of where we goof off. Okay.
He didn't remove himself from general. He did not remove himself from general.
He removed himself from random, though.
Yeah.
If you remove yourself from random, that's understandable, because that's kind of where we goof off. That's fine. If you
I don't get social media though.
Yeah, and you
don't put in there.
Yeah, you don't remove yourself from social media either, because guess what? Where do you think those videos are going? Social media. Anything that involves your job, you don't remove yourself from. And yeah, that is a fireable offense. And that's something else me and Creek's Corner are going to get together. We're going to drop a list. We're going to drop an employee manual that has SOPs in it. And one of those things are when you are added to a channel that involves, the only channel that you are allowed to remove yourself from that's considered optional is random. And whether it be, unless you like the film or whatever, if it has something to do with your job. So if you're there for video editing, you cannot remove yourself. If you're an intern, you cannot remove yourself from intern. You cannot remove yourself from video editing, and you cannot remove yourself from social media. If you are an intern that's a writer, you cannot you cannot come off of social media. You cannot come off of writing. If it involves your job, you cannot remove yourself.
Well, he's the only one that does this. I don't know who else does this.
Well, the fact of the matter that he's done it, now it needs to be brought up and put in there. There's always rules put in place because you got a nutnik that does something trying to test the waters. And he seems to think that he's completely he's one of those ones. And you know what? If I'm gonna say something when you're not around, I'll say it to your face. He seems to be the type of person. Now, I don't know him, never spoke to this person, so I don't know. But he seems to be trying to carry himself in a manner that, well, I don't need this. I'm gonna do what I want to do. No, you're not. No, you're not. This is an internship. It's a job.
Yeah.
Period. If you don't like it, quit. But do not sit here and take up space if you ain't going to do your job.
I do want to transition into a couple, I guess, has to do with it. He is now in charge of Carl Heiser and Alex Cervantes' new basketball podcast, college basketball podcast that will be coming.
Okay.
So I think Carl will at least be able to steer him in the right direction. But he was working on, we were supposed to be adding a soccer show. Okay. And it was quickly turning into another Tyler McGee fiasco. Quickly. So I had worked, and Creek's Corner had worked with this guy for 3-4 weeks. William Wang was given to them to edit their audio and produce a video for them. And once again, no post went up for their show. No videos were going up on the YouTube channel. The only thing that was happening was William Wang was providing them free editing for their audio and then clips for their Twitter handles. So they were fired, the Mostly Soccer people.
Good.
And I'm sure you probably never even heard of them, which is also a problem.
Not at all. Yeah. Thing is, while it's easy for me to be like, who the hell is this person? I should never have to go to the who the hell is this person. I ought to know.
Yeah.
If you're doing a podcast for Vendetta, I should know who you are.
Yeah.
If you're working for Vendetta, I should know who you are. If I don't know who you are, that's a you problem, dog. That ain't a me problem. That's a you problem.
Courtney, did you know who they were?
No. That's why I'm like, did they follow the podcast network? Because
it's a shame too, because if you he was actually he had a pretty decent voice on him. If you put his voice together and then Floppy Hair's ability to promote himself, you'd have one hell of a show. But they're not good at the other thing. Right. Floppy Hair, he's actually not talented at podcasting. And then the soccer guy, he just has no idea how to promote himself. If you combine the two, good God, you'd have one hell of a fucking podcast.
You'd almost have a Bryan Tann podcast. Well, I think one of the problems that we're starting to run into with people, and I'm going to be honest, is that we seem to be finding people that sat and have watched ESPN and they've seen the Skip Baylesses, the Stephen A. Smiths, the Max Kellermans, the Tony Kornheisers of the world, and or even God help me, the Mark Maddens of the world. And they see how they have their persona out there. This cocky, brash, I can do whatever the hell I want persona. Oh, I can do that. And it's like, no, that's not the way it works. That's a persona. It is a character that they play. And once again, if you watch last week's That's Some Cheese, you'll even see that those people, they may be becoming the norm, but that's a fad that's going to go because people are wanting comprehensive, intelligent.
It already is.
Yeah, it's really getting to that point. So I think the problem is that we're getting these people that buy into their own hype that they've made on themselves. They haven't done anything to earn said hype, but they're feeling it.
I almost feel like with this, you either have it or you don't. It might sound crazy to say, but you can't just plop some random dude. They could produce 500 episodes. If they can't speak or they can't talk or they don't know what they're talking about, they're not going to be good at this. It doesn't matter how many times they do it.
Yeah, and you have to have, podcasting and doing a show like this or doing like Tandemonium Sports Show or any of the other shows that we have that have lasted in the Vendetta Sports Media Podcast and Network. You've got to have a strong host. You have to have a strong co-host. You have to be able to work together, and you have to be able to speak intelligently, even if you're not an expert on something. Or get hosts that are experts, listen to them, and throw in your comments. You've got to be smart as well as entertaining, and you've got to be able to talk, and you've got to be able to market yourself.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but I gave Josh Taylor zero football topics. We just kept going. Kept going.
And that's what you want. You want to be able to feed. Like that's what Jackson and I do. We feed off of each other and we move on. Or when you're on the show, we feed off of each other. Like Josh Taylor comes on, Courtney sends him a copy of the notes. She sends Jackson and I notes. But when Josh is on, we just roll. And I just sort of dig into the notes and throw them out there. And Josh catches it and goes. The yak on that guy is outstanding. The only person that has a better yak than Josh Taylor is Jerry Rice.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
we actually had a podcast reach out to us and be like, we want to join the network this past week. Mm-hmm. I listened to their show and it just didn't have any hope. Like they could have gotten all the training in the world. They could have got new setups, better sound quality. Their show would have sucked.
Yeah.
And they have a bunch of followers on Twitter because they just, mass follow people or whatever. But it's the worst show I've ever heard in my life. And I told the kid that it was terrible, and then he got all upset, even though,
usually when you tell a guy that comes at you with a podcast, you tell them your podcast sucks. They're gonna take it a little.
Well, I didn't want to tell him that it sucked. I said, listen, I got to cancel the meeting. I don't think it's a good fit. And he asked, why am I canceling the meeting? Well, I think your show's bad, so that's why.
Well, see, you couldn't see. This is how
you could have been like, we're full.
Or you could have like, you know what? I just don't think it's a good fit for what we're doing at this.
I tried that the first time. Then he asked, well, can you give me like specific pointers? We're trying to, learn how to do things. And
all right, so that's when you go like, all right, now case in point. What's some of the stuff that it didn't work out? Like what's some of the stuff that came out at you that it wasn't?
Everything was bad. I'll send you the link. It was unlistenable.
All right,
if
fine.
that's even a word.
All right. So from a grading scale of A+ and F-, okay.
It's the worst show I've ever listened to in my life. So 0.
Production quality.
Did they know what they were talking about?
Oh, bad. One guy's like sound volume was all the way up here, and the other guy's sound volume was all the way down here.
Show topics.
It jumped right into, hey guys, we're back. We went 2 and 3 on the week. Is like, I didn't fucking listen last week. How the fuck will I know what you're doing?
Wow. So they would just say 2 to 3 from last week and keep moving.
Oh yeah.
No recap.
No recap.
Got it.
So they have no sort of pacing,
Nope.
no sort of flow,
Nothing.
no sort of production value.
Nothing.
And just
There was nothing to build on. Nothing.
Fair enough. All right. I mean, hey, sometimes
Do you think they could have helped them? Like
No.
if they would have. Oh, okay.
No.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right then.
I want to ask you another question though.
Okay.
What do you think of our state of our podcast, group? Do we need more shows, less shows? Are the shows we have bad, terrible? I don't know. Take it how you will.
Well, I'm not going to comment on the Tandemonium Sports Show because that's a bias.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, I look at it like this. As long as you're feeling like the show gives value to the company, I'm good with that. As far as some of the other shows, I mean, I really feel like what we've got right now is it works. I mean, Fontanello's show is always on point. I love what Chickster does. I love the fact that we have a fantasy show. I love the stuff that we have coming up. You know, I really think what we should probably do is every show, you know, I mean, we have enough shows right now that we could do a show a day, maybe 2 shows.
100%.
2 shows. And I think that our shows, it's not a quality issue. It's a scheduling issue. We need to get a schedule, write it in stone, and keep it that way. And that includes now, granted, our streaming is a bit different because our streaming side of things is different from the podcasting side of things. And, you know, not everyone can stream.
You've been streaming.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going to stream tonight. I'm going to try to do a stream tonight.
Okay.
But I think that what we need to do is get the scheduling down for it. So, like, we know that Some Cheese is Monday. Tandemonium Sports Show is Tuesday. The Fantasy Show is Tuesday. What do we got? What do we have going on Wednesday? What are we doing Thursday? What are we doing Friday? What are we going to do on Saturdays? I know on Sunday we're going to be doing the NFL recap show.
Jackson is really looking forward to that, man. Like
he's got
his thing's poking out of his pants. He's looking forward to that.
I'm really looking forward to it too. I mean, I'm going to be on there. They're going to be talking about my tweeting because I've been given material just based off my live tweeting. So it's fun. I think that we all feed off of each other very, very well. I think we just need to get our scheduling down. I think that not trying to create more jobs or anything, but I think that we definitely need a senior producer, podcast producer, whose job it is to schedule.
She's got enough to do.
Yeah, she's got enough to do. Like even if Courtney is like the senior producer, then her assistant would be in charge of actual scheduling.
Courtney, you're gonna have an assistant soon?
Assistant.
So basically the assistant comes to Courtney and will say, hey, listen, this is what we have for the scheduling, and Courtney gives the yay or nay. Then all Trey has to do is say, he comes to Courtney and says, hey, is the programming for the week scheduled? Yes, it's taken care of. Done.
So Garrett's going to be your assistant, or we have to find like an actual audio person?
So Garrett's good on StreamYard. Only thing I got to teach him now is like how to edit audio. So,
do you think his shoulder hair limits his potential?
I think it's possible. I think the shoulder.
No, I think it's possible.
I think he needs to pull a Homer Simpson, start shaving them shoulders. Yeah. Otherwise, he's never going to reach his full potential. maybe if he gets his shoulder hair braided into locks, that could help.
Ew. Oh no, that would be wild to see.
Yikes!
I love Courtney. She's like, oh no.
I can only speak for myself, but for me, I find it so much harder to find podcast hosts than writers. Like, I'll take a chance on writers. I feel like you can get better at writing. Mm-hmm. And even if you're bad at writing, I can find you a news story. Opening paragraph, put a quote in, little end paragraph, done. Put a little ad at the bottom, get it to 300 words. Like, I feel like even if you're really bad at writing, we can get away with having you do stuff like that. I'm very hesitant to add podcast people because one, I think it's tough to find people that can speak well. And two, now we've tried to add podcast people that I think were at least okay, and they haven't worked.
Well, you brought in Trey 2, the sequel.
And I'm not sure that one's going to work.
Really?
Well, his show hasn't gotten on the site yet. He's been here for a while now.
Well, he's been here 2 weeks. He's been here 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it's time to get going a little bit here. I will say all the interns technically tonight have their SEO training. We'll see which ones do and don't show up. So if he doesn't show up, that'll be a bad sign.
Fair enough. Well, I think you're absolutely right. Getting podcast hosts is difficult because, I mean, here's the thing: as far as Trey Coleman goes, Trey is used to doing his own thing at his own time, and that's cool. I get that. When you've been doing your own thing for a particular period of time, it's hard to adjust to someone else. I mean, it wasn't hard for me when I first came on a Vendetta. It was and it wasn't, because I guess my only difference is that I just got a particular way that I do things, and it just happened to fit. My way of doing things just happened to fit within the company. And I think that, because it's hard to find people that can talk, be knowledgeable, and be someone that you can work with. That's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, these podcast hosts, as soon as I get them help, they get big heads. Like I give them video editors, and they're like, well, they work for me.
No.
They work for this company.
You work for this company. They work for this company. You might be in charge.
That was the biggest problem to mostly soccer people, and we've had a previous issue with the All Day Jerk Off crew. During their shows, they're like, our new video editor Will. It's like, no, ain't your video editor.
Yeah, I mean, even if I say
crazy,
right? Because everyone that knows me, I'll say our producer Courtney. I'm not saying that she's just the Tandemonium Sports Show producer. She's the producer of our show, but also everyone who knows that I'm a company guy. So even if I say ours,
oh, those people we let go were not company guys.
Yeah, it means the company. I am a part of a company. My show is not independent of itself. I.e., I'm going to use the PM team here on 93.7 The Fan here in Pittsburgh. They are their own show. They're separate from the Paul Zeiss show. They're separate from the Cook and Joe show. They're separate from the morning show. But they all work for 93.7 The Fan. I don't know why that has to be put out there for people to understand. You work for a company. You all work for the same company. You might be in charge of your show, but you work for a company. Period. And yeah, it seems like there's some people that are coming in here and they seem to think, oh, well, we're doing our own thing. No, you're not. You're not even an independent contractor.
No.
You work for a company.
Sophie's an independent contractor.
Yes, Sophie is an independent contractor. There's a big difference. But you work for a company. If your show is going to be on this podcasting network, you're not independent. This logo here.
I was like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to point the logo.
I was trying
This
to figure that
logo
out.
here. If this logo is on your show, you're not your own thing. You are part of this logo. All right? Sorry. Guardians of the Galaxy may be its own thing, but they're under the Marvel banner, which is under the Disney banner. They work for Disney. Okay? Yep. I'm the host of the Tandemonium Sports Show. I am the head of HR, but I work for Vendetta Sports Media. Courtney works for Vendetta Sports Media. She is a producer on the Tandemonium Sports Show.
Courtney wears a lot of hats.
Courtney has more hats than there are heads in this conversation. Courtney's got more hats. Courtney has more hats than there are active people in this company, because some folks come in and just do absolutely nothing. That's why some of y'all asses got fired. Or you're on Survivor.
I probably owe Courtney thousands just for like my therapist conversations I send her.
Oh, Courtney. You know, Courtney's notebook has hours on there. She's got
timestamps, everything.
So as soon as that first big contract comes in, she's gonna be like, "Slow down, asshole! You ain't buying a car. You gotta pay somebody." No, I seriously think that at the end of the day, part of the problem that we start running into is that we're bringing in people that their egos are a little bit higher than their situation should allow for.
Nobody should have an ego right now, because based on the real like podcasting world, They're getting no hits compared to a Joe Rogan or like the big time podcasters. So the idea that you're getting a 0.1, there's 0.1% of Rogan. So the idea that anyone would have an ego about any show right now is just,
it's laughable. It's misguided. And you should probably go see a therapist because you are living in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, my film review podcast and the Tandemonium Sports Show doesn't even crack the fraction mark of what Creepy Joe is getting. And I'm talking Creepy Joe Rogan. Mr. I'm taking horse dewormer because I have COVID. By the way, if you're taking horse dewormer because you've got COVID, why don't you just duct tape a cinder block to your ankles and go swimming? Because you're doing that way, you're at least getting the job done faster. And those horses that have worms can actually get the medication they need.
Got it.
That was very lined up.
Yeah.
I got there eventually.
So I know you're not a big like fantasy guy, but I kind of want to ask it anyway. We had our company fantasy league yesterday.
I wish I was more into fantasy. I really do.
I kind of want to ask you about that.
I was like, what is going on? I was trying to, I don't know.
Do you want to become more of a fantasy guy? I guess it's a two-part question, even though this isn't even going to be like a technical podcasting, good sounding thing or whatever. Yeah. I let people have full creative control pretty much for the most part, unless like it's really crazy and it can be viewed as offensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Other than fantasy football. Fantasy football, we will do things one way and one way only as long as I am alive. And we will not have snake drafts. There will never be a snake draft at this company as long as I am alive. It is elementary. It is elementary. It is for 12-year-olds who suck on their mother's tit still. I will not have it at my company. We will not be having snake drafts for as long as I am alive.
Okay. That works.
Can you break down a snake draft for me? I know I work on a fantasy show, but
so you go pick 1, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, and it just goes up and down and up and down. And then all you're really doing is looking at the rankings, be like, oh, this guy's ranked 3rd. Let me take him 3rd. There's no thought process to it. It's playing checkers. It's just complete and utter nonsense. All you're doing is following Matthew Berry's rankings to see I have picked 7. Let me pick the 6th ranked guy because he's still on the board. Yes.
Okay.
Nonsense.
Got it. Makes sense. I understand.
We will only do, as long as I'm alive, auction drafts when it comes to fantasy football. It actually takes thought process. You have to, if you have the 12th pick, 11 guys are gone before you tick. You enter the draft with the exact same scenario as everyone else. You bid on players. If you want Christian McCaffrey really bad, you go up and bid for him. So it's an equal opportunity system. I know you're not a fantasy guy, but I guess it has to be said because we had it yesterday.
Here's my thing about snake drafts. I think a lot of people like the snake draft because it's essentially, it makes them feel like they're doing like the real life thing. With the first pick in the NFL draft, such and such selects blah. And it's like,
but it's not.
Yeah, it's not in that sense.
It would be like if the NFL never had free agency.
Right. Well, the thing is too.
You just started the Jaguars get their first pick and they can have anybody in the league. They take Patrick Mahomes. Doesn't work like that.
Right. And here's my thing about fantasy sports. I really try to get into it because I want to be able to talk about. I think my main thing is that I want to be able to just watch the teams that I like and enjoy the game. I don't want to have to worry about some dude playing in another game. Well, how were his yards? Man, my fantasy team. Because I tried to get into it. I really tried.
I love it.
And I was just like, all right, but this is taking away the fun. It just took it away from me.
I care about my fantasy team more than the Ravens, I'll tell you that.
Well, I hate the Ravens.
Oh, didn't somebody just get injured?
I hate the Ravens too. Don't worry. I hate them too. We're on the same side.
DK Dobbins? Was that his name? DK Dobbins?
JK Dobbins. Yeah.
JK Dobbins. Yeah, because idiot ass Harbaugh is running this kid in the final preseason game. Why are you
on my fantasy team?
Why are you running him in the final preseason game? That's ridiculous. This guy's been your starter. You know what you've got. He should have gotten a series in the
Nope.
second preseason. Not even a series, mate.
0.
Like, let the guy practice.
He's the starting running back that averaged 6 yards a carry as a rookie last year with the same offensive coordinator. He doesn't need to play.
Right. I mean, even if you put him in just for him to get used to the speed of the game after being, after the offseason. I can even be okay with maybe 1 or 2 plays in the opening series, and then you shut him down. You're not playing him in the third preseason.
Well, game. John Harbaugh said he only played him 26 snaps, so.
Yeah, well, that was 26 too many. It was 25 too many, wasn't it? Dumbass. Especially, I would never play a player as a coach. I'm never going to play a player in a meaningless game because you're going to have people fighting tooth and nail for jobs that are going to try to hit him a little bit harder. Which is what happened.
He got injured on a screen pass.
Yeah. And why are they doing that? Because they want to show their team, hey, listen, I'm mean and nasty enough to get a job on this team. See, look what I did.
Hey, so the Ravens had to win their 20th straight preseason game, though, because that matters.
Yeah. And that's why anyone that sits there and says, well, the Ravens are going to rule the AFC North. No, they're not. They're
Cleveland Browns.
I don't even see that.
I think you're like the only Ravens fan that I know.
Well,
I don't know. I have a friend who's a Ravens fan because she lives.
My cousin has season tickets, so I get to go.
More.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. The only reason why I'm disagreeing with Trey on the Cleveland Browns being the AFC North champs is because they have been in the position where it looks like they've had a stacked team and they've just been trashed no matter what. So we'll see. Honestly, I want the Browns to be good because
you don't. You don't. That's such a troll comment. That's such a troll comment.
No, it's not.
That is such a sarcastic troll comment.
No,
Come on, Cleveland, I'm rooting for you guys. No, you're not. You wish that city would crash and burn. You wish that city would get hit by Bane in real life, just like the Steelers one did in the Batman movies.
I do want the whole city of Cleveland to be hit because I'm Pittsburgh. But this is why I want the team to be better. Because when your division is better, you have to play a little bit harder. And you have to ulterior motives,
exactly. Ulterior motives.
Yeah. Plus, it makes the division more exciting. I love it. I love it where if you play in one of the most intense divisions in football, and then you come out and go into the playoffs, even if you don't have the best record because you're in this bad ass division, and then you just go in and start punching top seeds in the mouth. I love that. I love seeing that. And it's just the Browns. The Browns are just, who the Browns are to me? The Browns are the AFC version of the Detroit Lions.
I think they're going to be good this year, Bryan Tann. I do.
You know what? We'll see. I hope they are. I hope they are.
I don't even like Baker Mayfield. I just think their roster's too good that he can't, even if he sucks, they're still going to be good.
Baker Mayfield reminds me of a bigger, stronger version of Johnny Manziel. But the only difference, though, is that Baker Mayfield can backs up his swagger on the field. He may not be great, but he's good enough to back himself up and look good. Where Johnny Manziel, all he had was this.
You could get me on a 20-minute rant with this one, so I feel like I have to move on.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I have 2 more questions for you, and then if you have anything else, we'll dive into it.
Let's do it.
What are the odds, maybe give me a 1 to 10, that Josh Taylor will host a show with Trey if we can get it sponsored?
Ooh. If you can get it sponsored. If you can get a sponsored show, I think the odds are at least between 6 and 9.
Okay. Nice.
That's high.
If it's a sponsored show, because I think Josh likes the cut of the Vendetta jib. I think Josh.
I don't even know if he likes the company. I think he just likes me.
Well, he likes me too. I mean, come on,
like Brian's not sitting right there.
Me. I'm the reason the guy's involved with the company at all in the first place. Come on.
Oh, that was
he really just said.
He really just shut the door on me.
That was such a troll comment, and he fell right into it. I love it.
I really did fall into it. Like, wow.
Yo, you had a serious face. I was like, wow.
Oh, it worked though, didn't it?
It did. Hey, he did it. Congratulations to you. But I think that if you came to Josh Taylor with a sponsored show.
I'm not wasting the guy's time. He's profiting on it.
Yeah, and if you told it to him like that, I think that he would be down with it. I think from what I know of Josh Taylor, this is a friendship that's been now 25 years. I think
That's a
that he
long
would.
time.
Yeah, we've been friends since 1996. So
Man, I was like 4, I think.
yeah, well,
Wasn't even thought of.
Oh no.
that's hilarious. And I feel old as hell. I gotta quit putting numbers on stuff. Is what I gotta do. I gotta quit putting numbers on stuff.
At that age, I was dancing to like Michael Jackson, Thriller,
Yeah,
on like my play grounds. Yeah.
yeah. Yo, I was watching the original Space Jam and grooving to the Ghost Town Town DJs. Down with the Basketball Jones with Chris Rock and Barry White.
Space Jam's just a classic. I need to see the new one, but I'm sure it's not great.
It's not.
Fell asleep.
Yeah.
Honestly,
no.
I watched it with my son, and my son was like, "I like the original one better."
Okay, fair enough.
Well, you know what? My son got really mad at the new Space Jam because Don Cheadle was the villain.
Yeah, it was so random.
He's like,
For him.
He's like, War Machine is not a bad guy. It's like, then I probably shouldn't let you watch Colors, then, should I? Because he was a super villain in Colors.
One more question, and then if you have anything else for me.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
You took a challenge that you were going to become sports guy Bryan.
Yes, I did.
Do you feel like you are acing the challenge, not acing the challenge, still need to improve upon more? Where do you feel like you're at?
I think I'm on par to doing that. I started watching some college football on Saturday.
Ooh.
I can only do but so much because it was my mother's birthday, and I was cooking.
What games did you watch?
I watched Wisconsin, Penn State.
That was a classic Big Ten game.
I was so into that game. The hits were beautiful, and I hate Paul Chris. So anytime I see
A lot of defense in that one.
and I loved every second of it. I also watched, I was able to catch a little bit of last night's Notre Dame Florida State game.
I didn't even get to watch that one.
I watched about 15, not 15, I watched about 10 minutes of the third quarter, and then I was pulled away. But I enjoyed what I saw. So I think I'm on my way there. I'm gonna be watching. I'm not live tweeting. I might not live tweet the Thursday night game. I probably will, but I probably won't. But I'm gonna watch the Thursday night game. I'm gonna watch some college football. I'm gonna get used to using the clicker for my cable box so I can go between college football games. And then, of course, I will be live tweeting the Steeler game. And I'm probably going to have Paramount Plus open for some other games. Or maybe even,
That sports guy right there.
So I'm going to start doing that. And then I'm going to watch Monday Night Football so I can do a full-on recap. And I'm going to watch some Monday Night Football. And then I'm going to go back to watching NFL Prime Time.
I can just see Courtney's face. She's proud. She's proud. She's proud of Fontanello for getting on the Trey workout, and she's proud of you for becoming a sports guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Courtney is especially proud because she's not going to have to come up with as many notes for Tuesday. For next Tuesday.
Yo, when it comes to football, Brian, I struggle. I'm like, oh my gosh, is this interesting? I don't know.
So no, I'm going to be getting really into it. I'm not going to go so far to watch the dreaded four-letter networks Sports Center coverage throughout the week for it, but I am going to be focusing on the storylines online. I'm going to watch Primetime for a full recap of every game because that's what I did last season. I watched Primetime to get the full recap so I could better talk the games. But this time I'm going to be watching Primetime literally so that way it's not like the Steeler game is the only game I've watched. I'm going to be bouncing between other games. So Sundays, I'll especially be watching the Steeler game, but I'll probably also be watching the Sunday night game, and I'll probably bounce between the late afternoon games. So basically, Saturday and Sunday and Monday are going to be actually Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday are going to end up being football days. So my wife is going to hate me.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to be a sports guy, so
yeah. And then when hockey season and basketball season come along, I'm gonna be picking games to flip between on that as well. Hockey is not going to be a big deal because future Mrs. Tann loves hockey. but we're going to be bouncing between Penguins and other teams as well.
All right.
I feel like I'm getting there.
All right, so this is all, recorded and everything.
Yeah. Well, hey,
See?
yeah, it's there. So I said I'm going to do it. So I'm going to do it. Because I want the Tandemonium Sports Show. Here's the thing. And just like Trey, you already said it, and this could be a part of my thing. It's cool. You want to talk about not having an ego when it comes to your podcast? I'm the last person in this company that has an ego of this show.
Do you think Trey has an ego?
Of course you have an ego. You have to have an ego. Dude, you're running your own sports media company with so much other competition. You have to have an ego to be able to get onto some of these sales meetings and these sponsorship meetings. You have to go in with an ego. You have to.
We have to get Courtney an ego too, because now she's coming to all the meetings.
She's going to.
Well, really?
Here's the thing, though. Courtney has her own. Courtney has what's considered I consider the quiet cool about it.
Mm.
She's confident. Oh, yeah. She's really confident in what she does, but she's not going to be outward. And that's why you two complement each other so well. While you're being outward with it, she's being the quiet cool about it. So if someone looks to her while you're doing your thing and they see that confident look on your face, they see her confident, they hear your confident words, they see her confident face. It's like, wow, this company, they know what they're talking about.
So we got a real tag team duo here.
Yes, you do. Honestly, if I had the money and you guys came to me with something, I would actually listen to, not just because I know you both, but I would actually listen to what you have to say. And I would probably consider seriously investing money.
Okay.
So, but
I have that in me.
Yeah. And you are very, very professional when you want to be. When you want to be. But I probably have the lowest of ego in this company. I know for a fact that, like, I could go to my anchor right now, which Courtney has the control over. And I know that the actual audio podcast listens are very few. I'm sure I don't even have one that's cracked 10. I know for a fact that I've probably had, if I've had more than 12 to 15 views on the Twitch side of things, it's because the vast majority of the people are Vendetta or our guests have brought people there. And I get that. And I'm comfortable with that because I'm having fun with what I do. And I love what I do. And I'm so confident in this company that this company is going to blow up, that even if I'm not talented enough to have my own show on this company when it blows up, if I'm just doing the HR stuff, I'll at least be able to say, you know what? I helped with this. I helped this company. And that's all I care about. I don't care if I ever become the guy that can make a living as a podcaster. I don't care. I've accepted that. Okay, my first 3 episodes had more than 15. Okay, cool. But I'm okay with the fact that I'm probably never going to be at the level of Joe Rogan or any of these other people or anyone on Barstool that does. I'm okay with that. I've accepted that a long time ago. That don't mean that I can't help this company in other ways with my other talents. So, yeah. Now, if the Tandemonium Sports Show blows up, cool. That's a happy surprise. But I'm just happy to be a part of the company. I'm just happy with it.
I love that. Pretty good show for no notes, just kind of winging it.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Literally like, oh shoot, I forgot too.
I forgot it was Monday. So not a bad show, all things considered.
I love the fact that I was about 25 because I drove home from Ohio because it was my nephew's birthday party weekend. And I was on my way back, and we had just stopped in Bridgeville, which is just outside of Pittsburgh, because my in-laws were going to have some ice cream at a dairy. And I was like, there's no point in me going because I can't have anything there because I don't consume dairy. So, but then I still had ice cream on the brain. So I'm like, you know what? I'm stopped. Shout out to Millie's in Bridgeville with their awesome coconut milk Brownie Delight ice cream. And I just gotten in the car with my ice cream. I took my first spoonful, and Courtney goes, "Hey, you want to come on That's Some Cheese?" All right, yeah. I'll be home in about
At the right time.
Yeah, I'll be home in 20 minutes. Let's do it. She was like, so 6:00? Yep, let's do it. Because my other podcast, we were going to do it. We were going to be recording around now. And my co-host goes, "You want to just do this tomorrow?" And I said, "All right, cool. Bet."
Perfect storm. Look at that.
Mhm.
That's right.
Stars align.
Everything comes together. But no, man, I'll do
Yeah.
anything. I'll do anything I can for this company. So,
All right, Brian. Any other thoughts while you have me?
yeah,
Anything company
sure.
related? Anything for me?
Yeah, be prepared for me telling you this person is fired in a couple of days.
Okay.
Certain people are going to be fired this Thursday.
Do the water boy
Alright.
thing.
Yeah. You're fired! And I'm actually going to do it real like that. But no,
I like it.
listen, interns, for real, for real. An internship is for you to get experience with your education. We may
This
not,
fall intern class has been so bad.
yeah,
It's just,
we ain't Barstool, and that's cool because we don't need to be Barstool.
I hope to be better one day. I hope to be better one day.
We're gonna be better one day. But the bottom line is that if you came in here to do a job, you got to do it. That's the expectation.
And if you don't know, ask, please.
Yeah. And if honestly,
That's my
here's
last
the
thing.
thing. Yeah. And if I said, and I did say there are no exceptions, this is when it needs to be turned in. Look, I understand sometimes there's mitigating circumstances. If you were to come to me and say, listen, this is the conflict that I have.
Oh, lost him. I yawned and I made him disappear. I think that's what happened.
Oh, his face.
Do it right back at you, Bryan Tann.
There we go. I'm not an unreasonable man, but listen, this is important. It's important. So either do it or don't, but don't waste any of our time. Don't waste the time of the other interns. If they're gonna have to pick up your slack,
It might be other, not others.
yeah.
We'll see.
We had three people do it. I was happy with the questions, the way their answers to the questions. So as far as it is right now, we're gonna at least have 3 from this fall class.
So bad.
Unless they screw up. But and if you ain't gonna do it, then leave. Because if you don't and you're gonna keep wasting our time, then guess what? You're gonna be fodder for the company. It is what it is. Because we're a sports company, we're also an entertainment company.
Period, Brian. Period.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Courtney, anything else?
No, I've said mine. You don't know,
Okay.
ask.
All right. That's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching That's Some Cheese. Make sure to follow Bryan Tann, author, right?
Yep, Bryan Tann author is my personal.
Yep.
And Tandemonium at Tandemonium VSM for the Tandemonium Sports Show Twitter feed. That's where I do all my most of all of my sports live tweeting. I've actually been resisting the urge to fuss at the Steelers from that Twitter feed. Why didn't TJ Watt get his money? Why didn't he get his money? You better give that man his money. Oh, and real quick before we go, Mark Madden saying that Ben Roethlisberger taking the cut and pay to stay because Ben Roethlisberger is more important than TJ Watt will ever be. Mark Madden, quit trying to live the gimmick. You're wrong. Ben Roethlisberger has 2 years at most. TJ Watt has 10 years to be the anchor of this defense. Quit trying to live the gimmick, dude. Quit trying to live the gimmick. I came to your defense once when you were trying to trash talk James Harrison, and I offered to fight him in your place. But now you're just getting ridiculous. Yeah, James Harrison got sick of Mark Madden trolling him on Twitter, and he threatened to beat the hell out of Mark Madden. And I said, oh, you can't be going after Mark Madden over that because he's actually being right. I'll fight you in his place. And then as soon as I sent that tweet, I'm like, wow, I'm pretty stupid. I'm like 385 pounds. James Harrison can bench press me. And I have no ability to defend myself right now because I'm fat and falling apart. Why am I doing this for another fat guy that can't defend himself?
Make sure to follow Plumber Courtney on Twitter too.
Yeah.
She's
I'm
StreamYard queen.
I'm seriously going to try to talk her into changing her Twitter handle to "Don't Call the." At don't
You know what?
call
I
the.
need to change it because that's school stuff. But
Professional Twitter account.
yeah, professional.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
and I'm planning on doing episode 2. Hopefully, I don't have any issues with the
Cutscene cheese.
Yeah, hopefully I have no cutscene
Yeah.
cheese tonight, but I do plan on doing a at least twice this week. I want to do my Mafia 3 stream because I've been wanting to play it. And I did like that one, like I did like an hour and 20 minutes, and I'm like, I want to play some more.
All right. Make sure to follow me too, Trey Daubert. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and we will see you next time.
Later.